Hey guys, my name is Jessica. I'm from Greenview, SA, and if you haven't seen me before, then welcome and thank you for joining me. Today is actually going to be my very first plant haul. I am super excited about this. I'm just maybe gonna say it was my lockdown plant haul. I got one of the plants literally like 2 days before lockdown, and the rest I got pretty much just after lockdown. The very first plant that I got that's going to take part in this plant haul is something super special to me. It was a plant that I wanted for a really long time and I just wasn't able to get. It just wasn't really a plant that was like readily available. I had never seen it before, and I finally found it on Facebook Market from a private seller who has a larger plant in his garden, and I think he was just selling off some cuttings. Variegated MONSTERA DELICIOSA, or the ALBO BORSIGIANA Variegated. It's just a cutting that has two leaves, two very beautiful leaves, if I'm not gonna lie. I think this one is honestly my favorite leaf. And then something very exciting is happening, and I'm hoping that you guys are gonna be able to see that it is getting, let's do it this way, a beautiful new leaf. I've been watching this leaf trying to come out for quite a while, and it has been taking its sweet time. So when they say that these are a much slower grower, they mean it. This new little leaf that's coming up has honestly taken 3 weeks to pop out. Like, I could see that the stem was pregnant for 3 weeks before its little tip emerged. So it kept me waiting. So the reason that they take so much longer to grow is because the white sections can't produce chlorophyll, which is just sort of the process of turning sunlight into sugar. What's actually really cool about this plant that I never knew, and I'm not sure if it's the same for the variegated kind, I kind of doubt it, just because they're slower growing. You'll probably find that you don't really find that many of them in nature. You'll probably find that they revert quite quickly. But the MONSTERA deliciosas get their name Deliciosa because they actually do produce a fruit which is completely edible to both animals and humans, and apparently it's really delicious. It's sort of a mixture between, there's a lot of them, so bear with me. Okay, what are you gonna do in there then? Now that he's done playing, the fruit apparently tastes like a mixture between strawberries, pineapples, mangoes, and passion fruit. So yeah, if you're ever able to try one of those, definitely try it out. It sounds super interesting. These, obviously the variegated versions is going to need more light than the normal version. The plain standard green version can generally do quite well in a low light area. I have one basically in the, both of mine are in pretty low light, and they pop out new leaves in summer, every 2 weeks. So not too bad. So just another look at this gorgeous plant. And I just can't wait for it to get some fenestrations. So I'm very excited about that. Does it look good there? Not really, because he blends in with the white. The next plant that I got, I'm a bit sad to show and a bit disheartened, but I am coming right and I'll show you why. But it is my dragon scale, my ALOCASIA BAGINDA. The common name is the dragon scale. I did buy this baby with 2 leaves and I did overwater it. I am going to stick up a picture either here or here on what the leaf started to do when it had been overwatered. I have cut that leaf off since, and this was the smaller leaf that it had, and it is starting to go a little bit yellow. I think that was also just from the overwatering, and here you can see where I cut the leaf off. I'm not sure if you're able to see. And I really don't think you're going to see this. I'll probably just try and insert an image. But a new little growth point leaf is coming out of the old leaf stem. So whatever I was doing wrong, I have hopefully corrected it now. And I am getting a new leaf. So that's exciting. These are poisonous to all animals and kids and children. All alocasias are. So just bear that in mind and keep them somewhere where they can't really get to them. One of the biggest things to consider before getting one of these is they really do like higher temperatures as well as higher humidities. And they don't really fare very well when it gets cold, which we've had an extremely cold few days. So I'm a little bit worried about this new leaf that's coming, but hopefully I was able to keep him warm enough. The other thing to also think about is that these guys, as much as they like high humidity, their leaves are very susceptible to getting, you know, different types of diseases and fungal infections. So don't miss them, rather just stay clear of it. The third one that I got is actually one of my wish list plants. Actually all three of these were my wish list plants, but I was able to find a bigger version of this. It wasn't in very good condition. It was straight after lockdown, so I do feel like this poor plant maybe just was a little bit neglected while everyone was locked down. So the nursery obviously just couldn't look after it as well as they normally would. So this is my STROMANTHE Triostar, and it's so beautiful. It's still in its nursery pot. All of my plants are still in the nursery pots, well most of them. I have taken them out of their decorative pots just to show you. A lot of my decorative pots are a little bit like difficult to handle. Like if you saw the basket, which was from Basketly, just a bit awkward to try to show you the plants on camera. So it's so beautiful, and it's got so many different plants inside of it. So it's doing very, very well now. It did have a leaf like this that was unrolling when I got it, and so that one has unrolled and furled, and it's this leaf over here which has the tiniest little brown tip. It really is tiny. So I'm not sure what I've done wrong to get that brown tip, but this guy has come completely from me. He has only grown in my care, and he doesn't seem to have any browning and that sort of stuff yet. So I'm super excited to see what he's going to look like, seeing as he's, you know, sort of fully grown in my care. This plant did have mealybugs when I got him. I seem to have been able to fix or get rid of them, but I do have to just keep a super close eye on it just to make sure that, you know, there aren't any ones that I couldn't get hold of. The way these stems are, they actually just really difficult. I can show you the way these sort of stems grow. They're just really difficult to actually get rid of bugs, and there's lots of crevices and stuff for them to hide in that I can't really get to even when I try. But yeah, you can see how crispy and horrible some of these leaves look. I know that they like distilled water or filtered water, so we have a borehole, and that's where I get all of my water for all of my plants from. It does sit at an extremely high humidity. Most of the time it's at 60, so I don't see why there should be any browning on this leaf. It does need repotting, but I'm not going to do that until summer, as much as I really want to. The sad dry looking roots coming out of the bottom. But yeah, I'm super in love with this plant. It doesn't, the nice thing about actually anything that's sort of Stromanthe or Calathea or Tenanthe, any of your prayer plants, they don't need that much sun. Because this does have the variegation, I tend to keep it a little bit closer to the sun than my other ones, just to promote a little bit more of the white in the leaf. But other than that, they're quite happy in a more shaded area. Just be careful if it is close to the sun to just keep an eye on it and make sure that you're not burning any of the leaves. They're quite sensitive that way. And yeah, we obviously want to have beautiful, healthy green and white and pink leaves. We don't want any brown and burnt. But just to enjoy how beautiful and pink this is. So my next plant, this I found from Heckers, and this I bought from Heckers as well. I just got it like 2 weeks later. I don't know why I didn't see it when I was there the time before, but yeah, he's very big. I'm not even sure how I'm going to talk about him. I think I'm just going to place him there maybe, or not like that. We're just cutting out most of my face, but we don't need to see me, right? Okay, so this is my red Congo or Rojo Congo. Interesting fact, Rojo just means red in Spanish, so if you didn't know that, now you do. The cool thing about this is its leaves come out like a bright red. I'm going to try to show you. You can see sort of the stem here, the leaves grow out bright red like that, then they change to this sort of, this is the newest leaf, but they change to this sort of deep maroon green, and then they go green over time. These little spots that are all over it was sprayed with neem oil, which damaged the plant. So you just got to be careful with your philodendrons and neem oil, guys. It can, if you spray it rather than wiping it, you can cause these burns, especially if you don't dilute it enough. So one of the other things that's really cool about this plant is that it grows very differently to most philodendrons in the way that it doesn't really climb the same way or vine, but it grows upwards or it grows outwards. So the growth pattern of it is just very different. So I'm quite excited to see how that goes. These plants are often bought to be statement pieces. They get really big. I think they get up to like 2 meters, if I'm not mistaken. So very excited to see how big this plant gets. I have bought it for a specific place in the house where I'm hoping it'll get bigger. I just haven't seen a bigger version of it yet, and I couldn't help myself. So hopefully I can get it to grow nice and quickly and big. And yeah, so that's him in all his beauty. If you guys see rosemary leaves sort of just stuck in some of my pots, apparently they deter bugs. So I have a big rosemary bush growing outside, so I often just cut a few stalks and throw them some of my plants. So that's the reason for that. So the fifth plant that I've gotten is, oh, I did try to pronounce this, and I really want to get it right, but you're gonna have to just excuse me getting it wrong. ASPIDISTRA, ELATIOR. I'm not sure exactly how you are supposed to pronounce it. I'm terrible with names. But the name that I can pronounce is a cast iron plant, and I'm super lucky that I actually have gotten the variegated kind. How beautiful. So it's only got 3 leaves, and one leaf is not very happy. I don't know, I think something crowded it. I don't know if you could see. It's got some holes in. But yeah, an interesting fact about them, the fact that they are called, or the reason they're given the nickname the cast iron plant, is apparently they're supposed to be really difficult to kill. They're supposed to be really hardy. They can tolerate, the most extreme conditions, whether that be drying out excessively or being overwatered excessively or too much sun, too much shade. They're generally quite forgiving, and I really wanted to get one of these. I actually wanted a different version of it. It's called the Milky Way, and it's basically, instead of the white variegation like this, it gets instead of like the lines, it gets the spots, so it's supposed to sort of look like the Milky Way. But one of my friends, I'd actually gone plant shopping with her. She wanted to do some new plants for her house, so she told me all the areas, and we had a look at all the areas, and I went with her to try to choose the best plants. One of the plants was the cast iron plant, and for her to, yeah, I guess when she was saying thank you, she said that I could have this beautiful variegated version of it. And it was a really good price. This was actually also from Heckers, but it was a really good price considering they are really slow growers. If you've made it this far into the video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up or a subscribe or a comment. It does help me understand if you're enjoying the videos or not, and what type of videos you would like to see in future. And If you have any care tips for any of the plants that I've shown you today, I would absolutely love and appreciate the comments below, and I'm sure anybody else who's watching this would also really appreciate it. I'd really love some advice and some help on the dragon scale, please. We're not doing too great just yet, and I'm really hoping to change that. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.